Hi everybody, Donna Salazar here, and I'm going to talk to you about keeping it dirty. These are some of the Girlie Grunge prints that I made on a dirty gel plate, and here are some close-ups. And I'm going to show you my process and how I came up with these prints. So here's the first print, and I'm starting with some Pebeo paint. And as you can see, the plate was very dirty. I also don't clean my stencils, as you can tell. Once the plate gets as dirty as I let it get, there is some very thick paint in the background, and it can be challenging to actually get that up sometimes. Sometimes you got to let some really thick paint sit on there. And, you know, of course, on a video where I say keep your plates dirty, then I show how I clean off the side plate in between colors. But I do like to not waste what is on there most of the time. So the paint that was on there had a hot minute to sit, and I wanted the paint to dry a little bit before I started to add other colors to pull the print. And this is sped up by 4 times, and I'm leaving the entire time that I am rubbing the paper on there so that you can see that I really take my time for this part of the process, because I really want as much of that goodness that's on the plate to stick to the paper. And here is the voila moment. This one, out of all 3 of them, I believe was my most favorite that I pulled. And here is the second print. And I liked the way this one turned out, but I know that I'm going to use this in a project where I'm going to add something else to it. The other 2 prints went straight into a frame and onto my walls. So I actually didn't add very much to this one. It was just a little bit of color and just trying to get up that goodness that was around the edges. And as you can see, I rubbed the plate a lot. And you can see the texture of the paper actually changes a little bit too. And the next voila moment. So this is a really pretty background, but I felt like it was really more of a background and it wasn't really a standalone print. So I'm going to use this with something else. And here is the third print. And I had added a little bit on there off camera, not realizing my camera wasn't on. But you can see what I added was just a little bit of some white in the background. And I love how there is some really thick chunks of dried paint in spots on this plate. And sometimes they come up and sometimes they don't. That's the magic of using a gel plate. But I love when it does come up, it looks like weathered wood that has been painted and left out in the sun forever. Or if it doesn't come up, it leaves these really cool, like, open patches that make it your project look like it's almost like a distressed, or not even a distressed, like an aged piece of parchment that is beginning to like disintegrate and fall apart. And I love that look. And there's no other way that you can get a look like that except for when you're using a dirty plate. So yeah, my suggestion to people is always to keep it dirty and to rub it a lot too. That could totally be taken differently, but yeah, keep your plate dirty and rub the paper onto the plate after you get all your paint on there a lot. And I was experimenting a little and added a little bit of Distress Oxide ink onto my bubble wrap stamp just to see what would happen. And you can kind of see it when the print is pulled. And in case you're wondering, the paint that I've been using are the Pebeo Studio Acrylics, the Dina Media acrylic paints, and the Deco Art Media Fluid acrylics. And they're all different thicknesses and give you different results when you're using them. And I think it's fun to just mix them and see what happens. That's what my style is all about, just playing and experimenting, and I love the results that I get. And here's the magic moment. I absolutely love this print. I love the way this came out. And I felt that these prints were frameable just as is. So this is the first print that I thought was ready, and it is already up on my wall. And this is the second print, and it also is up on my wall. And I'm going to do something with the third print as well. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.